you need to be able to register your business as well, because it will add legitimacy. It will also improve your position when you're going to seek social funding, when you're going to seek a loan to expand your business. Which, I mean, and especially if your business is doing good and you don't have the funds to expand, you know, once you're legitimate, then you can go in, you can apply, you can be able to expand your business and, you know, do great things. Failure to keep a track of your receipts or income. It's very important that you keep track of where your money is going, so that you know exactly what is happening, where it is happening, and you're better able to plan. And of course, ensure you don't miss your deadlines. But in anything, you know, even if there are mistakes, you know, they can be corrected. So, and there are solutions. So if you haven't started, I mean, this is one day you can start separating your expenses, filing your taxes, setting up yourself as a sole trader. Those are important. And of course, maintaining your daily and sales expense log. So for me, even if you're not Excel savvy or you're computer savvy, keep it in one piece of paper, keep it in a book. Keep it in a book every day. How much money you have earned, how much money you have spent, what is the expenditure, and keep it simple if it is even that. And as I said before, separating your personal and business expenses. For those who are a little bit more tech savvy, you can use Excel, you can use QuickBooks, but as a basic start, tracking it, if it's even manual, if it is even in a notebook.
Are the notes on your phone?
Huh?
Yeah, notes on your phone.
Yeah, but if you're not so tech savvy, you just write it out. Right? You know what I said? A hardcover book. And monthly. So if you had budgeted to make $100,000 this month and you fell short by 50, asking where you fell short. What is it something you spent on? If you exceeded your target, okay, what did you exceed? What is it that you have been doing, you know, that has made you this, you know, made you do better? Perhaps you need to do more of it. So you need to be able to keep a budget and try to ensure that you compare your budget with your actual expenses to see where your shortfall, where the gain is, where the opportunities are for you to continue to improve. All right, where to get help? Let me tell you something. TAJ is very, very helpful. And I'm speaking even as a chartered accountant. Sometimes I don't know everything, and I will call them, and they're one of the few government organizations that when you call it, don't take long to get through. And you have somebody there who is always there. They answer you very quickly, and they get the information to you. So they will help you with knowledge, with your e-filing. Very, very helpful. I can personally attest to THA. Then you have your JBDC, the Jamaica Business Development Center, and the Small Business Development Center. They will also offer coaching and training. You have the microfinance institutions that will offer you financing, and you can get help through PATH and your social grants, and you can still get it if you're self-employed. All right, so the key takeaway is, even if your business is small, no matter what, you still need to keep good records for your money. The tax compliance, it opens doors if you want to get more money to expand your business. Once you're tax compliant, you can get access to funding. And of course, take small steps. I mean, Rome wasn't built in one night. You know, I mean, you just have to start. The most important thing to do is to start. Start somewhere. Start small, and sometimes they turn around and and it just grows. So it's just making that first step. And of course, you know, financial knowledge is power. So, you know what, it's because in any business, the goal is to make money, to make a profit. Nobody really wants us to start a business to, you know, make a loss. So in order for all of that to be done, you have to be able to you have to be able to track your expenses, track your income, keep your money separate, and document it so you know where everything is going, so you're able to plan and organize yourself. All right. I think that's it for me. All right, so I have some questions for the panelists. All right, this one has to do with funding opportunities, grants, loans, and microfinancing. All right, so many small business owners believe they can't access financing without large assets or an extensive business history. What are some of the real options available through DBJ for startups and microfinance businesses?
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. I'm just making that background short. So, the Development Bank of Jamaica were owned by the government at one location for Oxford Road, right across from Emancipation Park. And we are mandated to facilitate economic growth and development, right? We perform, right? So what we do, how we typically online is through your financial institution. So you don't necessarily come to us directly, but you access our funding through our partners, like JN Bank and ECB. With me so far?
Yes.
Right. It would be remiss of me not to say that, as mentioned, your financial history and your assets, they form a critical part of your application for capital financing. You have to take that seriously. Banks want to finance businesses, whether you're startup or micro. They want to finance businesses that are sustainable, right? If you're a startup, you may be saying, where am I going to get financial history? No, that's where you double down on your collateral package. That's where your assets come in. No, at the Development Bank of Jamaica, I smile because I'm so proud of my organization and what we do, right? When we design our capital solutions for microbiz and startups, we consider that you may not have collateral. You won't have all that they would require of you. And so we've designed what we call the CEF, or the Credit Enhancement Facility, that assists you with your collateral shortfall. So you go into the bank and you seek capital financing, and they say, what do you have to give to me? The Development Bank of Jamaica will say to you, I'll stand beside you, and I'll pledge up to 80% of the loan amount that you want. We will stand collateral on that for you. That's real, and that's available. Another capital solution that we have available for micro, we specifically designed with this for the micro space. We call it the tool loan, tradespersons ownership opportunity tool. Now, under this capital solution, you can access up to $500,000 so that you can buy the tools and the small equipment that you need to propel your business growth, right? So the hairdresser, the tailor, the barber, all of those micro persons who have difficulty convincing the banks, we've said to them, lend to them $500,000 so they can access the tools and equipment that they need. And in addition to that, we will stand security up to 80% of the 500,000 on their behalf. So we've partially eradicated the issue of the collateral for you. That is available right now. The credit enhancement facility, it runs through. It is there for you to access. The tool loan, it expires at the end of June. But if you are interested, you can see me right after this session and I'll connect you with a bank. Also have to mention that if you reach out to the Development Bank of Jamaica and you need assistance, you have a startup and you don't know where to go, we will hold your hands, we will arrange a meeting for you with the bank, we will go with you to the bank, whether in person or online, just to ensure that you are in good hands. Also want to mention that just last week or 2 weeks ago, we approved a loan for a startup. So I don't want you to leave here thinking that startups always hear no, they don't. They don't always hear no. One, your collateral package is important for the bank and your staff. Call these folks, how can I access your C.T.E.P to help to build my collateral package so that the bank can it's there for you to access. Reach out to us. Okay? Okay.
All right, thank you. It's either JN or S.T.E.P or perhaps both. What are the common mistakes entrepreneurs make when applying for a loan or business credit, and how can they avoid them? What are the common mistakes that entrepreneurs face or make when they are trying to apply for a business loan and or credit, and how can they avoid that?
So I'm happy that I've had the opportunity to host some presentation this morning, which will have walked through the steps as to getting persons ready, providing the necessary documentation that is required. Right? So a lot of mistakes that our micro borrowers make is not doing their research to know the type of business that they're fully going into. That's one. Two, they don't do the research to know what it will cost them to start the business. They just come, oh, I want a loan. And just pick from the clothes, $500 is what I need to start. But when in reality, when they do come to us and they say, oh, I know, Michelle, an additional 500,000, then that now would delay the application process, have to go and do things all over again and come back. Now, if you're starting a business or you're currently operating a business, you want to be sure that you have these things in mind before you approach us. Right? So I will encourage persons to do their research in the industry that they're doing, go and get the necessary costing through their supplier that they're considering to assist to get the push to come and meet us for the opportunity for a loan. And please, begging you, be honest. So if you know you're coming to start a business and you want the support for that purpose, stick to it. Don't change your mind and use the fund and do something else, and then you're still left without a business and still without an income.
And do you offer any financial mentorship or business development services for people who are new to the banking or credit? Do you offer any mentorship?
But for Jane Bank, we don't call it mentorship, but I guess you can. But we do provide training to our member clients from time to time through seminars, webinars, and other opportunities. And we have also for persons who are in farming, we encourage them to get their licensing through RARA, be to support by training and getting certain resources and materials and also working purposes with other companies, entities, and
Okay. All right, thank you. All right, so financial management. So what do you say to entrepreneurs who are informal, not registered, not paying them taxes? Yeah, you tell them, so they must pay them taxes. But, to what scale and what are the first steps they should take?
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for the invite. And especially this capacity. All right, for persons who are entrepreneurs, that's a lovely venture, as a matter of fact. However, you need to know that business structure you want to be a part. You need to know you're going to be a sole trader, partnership rather, or limited liability company. That's the first thing you have to know when you come on to tax administration. All the different tax laws are different business structure, they're different tax obligations. And I don't know if anyone shared it before, it is worse not to declare. To not declare is a criminal offense by court. Right? So you can't be making monies and say, you know what? Now declare it. Because the government now knows it. We have ways and means of knowing it. And you're brought before the court for a criminal offense, which is worse than to not pay. Because not pay, you can always enter an agreement. But you can't enter an agreement with the judge. When you come on the criminal offense, as a matter of fact, you have to pay the debt right there. And I think her fees, or his fee, sorry, is between $200,000 to $2 million right there. I don't. That's what's from like 2015. I don't know if it increased. But it should increase. Because everything increasing, that should. So, for entrepreneurs, you need to know the business structure to register your business properly with the Companies Office of Jamaica. Right? When you register your business with the Companies Office of Jamaica, that is where TAJ comes into play. Because at that time, your business will get proper TRN. Companies Office is a one-stop shop thing now, so you don't have to come at TAJ TRN. Get to the Companies Office, you get business TRN, you get the business. Also, and that is for limited time. For sole traders, you get an extension on your TRN because as a sole trader, you are the business. Right? So now, let's talk about taxes. They don't mind. Sole traders, you consider 4 tax types: income tax, education tax, NIS, and NHT. Many persons, as a sole trader, would not pay the income tax because of the tax threshold. So you have to be exempted from paying income tax. If you still file it, what is you might be under the threshold, and the threshold since April 1st is 1.8. Yes, next year it will be 1.9, and the following year it will be 2 million. So any money they make between 0 to 1.8, they would be paying income tax. They would be charged 25%. Or by the still pay the education tax at 2.25%, NIS, and the NHT. Now, our lovely moderator spoke about NIS and the benefit and NHT, but we do benefit of education tax also. Still love the schools, you see. Fab, education tax. So it's wise to pay all these taxes. All right? But the company structure is a bit different because you pay company income tax. Company itself generates money outside of the directors. You have to understand the different structure, just like partnership. The partnership itself is the end, but the partners have to pay their due tax costs. So you file for the partnership, we call it the PIT, for income tax. That is normally a nil figure. But the partners, person that file over their taxes and pay accordingly.
All right. So I think, thank you. So you're, starting up your business, and I mean, you need to pay your taxes, but you need to buy goods, like, so how can the entrepreneurs avoid penalties while still, trying to plan?
First of all, you have to be clear. Before, you have to be clear. First thing, even if you're not going to pay right now, you can always enter an agreement. As a matter of fact, the 31st of May, just gone, we had a special arrears settlement program, and that would have meant a waiver, 100% waiver, of all interest and penalties owing for years gone by. Right? So these things do happen. So even if even if pay late, who knows, the government can come up with another amnesty and waiver the interest and penalties.
Alright. Sorry? Sure.
I know I'm not part of KJ, but we do encourage our clients that he spoke about the threshold. Now, you are starting a business, or you're about 6 months within your business. You may not be seeing the big profit right away to be maintaining the taxes that is required of you. But it is important so that they see that, I'm 6 months in the business, I'm not earning any money, so you can follow how that is treated. If they're not earning enough right away to be able to pay those taxes, how they can expect to be treated. Because I really want to hear your spin on that.
Okay. Well, as I said, be clear. Even if it's still, you go making money, you file,
So you have to show proof of the need. Proof of the need, right?
right? But even so, you can explain business just started and you don't start making any money. But you still have to file. Because you clear that nothing will go on to have the file still. Right? But with that said, if you do file late, or for instance, you have the money to pay, you file and you have a lot of money to pay, and it's taking you a while, you can always call it an internal a payment arrangement. You not as hard and fast as years gone by. Yes, it's true. We're quite.
So I see everybody getting nervous in this. I noticed, and I felt compelled to share, because there's a reason why I could have called Naja, because my company, we entered into a similar arrangement. And what was upsetting is the whole thing that, his staff, they are very nice. So you want angry with them, But Miss Williams, she deserves a pay raise and a promotion, because she's somebody, she's respectful, and she will work with you. So even though you guys told us, the 31st, and we run away pay it away, deplete resources, and you extend it until next to May the 31st, they don't grow horns. They'll work with you, and I'm telling you, his team, the tax team at TAJ, they will work with you. If you file, it's better you file than you don't file. Remember, how you think NHS, they have a free hospital, the schools, the high school, church, how you think that money is generated? It's through taxes. But tell you pay until you need to pay taxes, because you save one way to benefit when you go to a public hospital. So work with him. Miss Williams, ask Miss Williams, I'm telling you, she'll work with you.
Another thing to add to that as well, so even in your budgeting and when you're making money, is to just set aside a little. Just set aside a little at a time. Because if it comes to the end of the quarter, for you to find the big enough, it's going to be hard. So even when you're doing your budgeting, you say, all right, just like how you have your expenses, you put down early 20,000 here, 20,000 here, so that when it comes to the time for you to pay your taxes, you will have most of the money. Some of the money you won't be scrambling to try and find the lump sum.
Another mistake I say young entrepreneurs do is not having a good accountant.
Yes.
You have to know your business. You have to know the business that you're going to enter. So, income and expenditure. You need to can say, all right, this is my expense and this is my income. Mine is even that. Because when I go to the accountant need to rock it. That's many years ago. But you are the one that is responsible. Now, the accountant don't get done. You are the one, right? The accountant are not taken away. You are asset. Say something about the business they're going to do. Something about account. Everything is online. Chat GTP, just ask it what they do.
But just to share that we have Mr. Orchid's son, he's a PWC and he's currently doing practice. And he's a warrior. He's full of them. So we have accountants among us. That's
The fashion.
What this was thank you. Let's move on to the social programs and the support for the vulnerable entrepreneurs. Right? All right, so many persons living with the chronic illnesses struggle financially. Are there any programs through PATH or MLSS, Ministry of Labor and Social Security, that support entrepreneurship or self-employment?
Yes. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Okay. Happy to be here, and I'm being informed as well. So I'm here to present, but I've learned and appreciate that. All right, the ministry that I represent, the department really is the public assistance division of the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, popularly known as. However, PATH is one of the social programs that we offer. Not the only thing that we, the reason why we're here today, yes, we do offer micro business loan in the so you don't have to pay back. We do evaluations after that grant is issued to say, hey, how are you doing? Is the business affecting the business, not going? It's not. Some of the instances would have been or relocation instances. However, they for that grant is necessarily a one-size-fits-all, but it is structured for the nature of your business. So if you want to do chicken rearing, then RADA comes in. The location matters, right? And right across the board, it's your ID or TRN, your invoice to validate the items related to your business. So if it is that you want to do a cook shop at home, what is it that you need? Okay, I need 100 pounds of chicken to start off. I need some food box. I need ketchup. I need forks, napkin, that sort of thing. So whatever it is that you need to start your business, if you're a tailor or a dressmaker, okay, I need fabric, I need thread, I need needles, right? You produce the invoice from an institution that is registered to do business, right? Key point there. Because the government will do business with those who are paying their taxes. It's your taxes for tax. Right. So you just produce the invoice and then we will guide you thereafter to say if it is that you're going to pay rent, what additional documentation is required. If it is that you're going to do it from your home, what documentation is required. However, since less than 2 years, we realized that this program was designed to help the vulnerable group, but because of some of the requirements, it was not a success. So they have scaled down, came up with supplementary documents, because we know that oftentimes where we live, we do not have a title for it. There's no tax document for it. We just born, come there, and we build there and get make it to our homes. So what we do is that we have created documents to say, okay, then a notary public can just be there for an extended period unbothered. undisturbed, unmolested, and we will use that to say then for a proof of ownership if you want to do your business from your home. So it's just to just come in and have a talk with us, and that's it in a nutshell. Nobody's exempt, so it all depends on the nature of your business, and then we take it from there.
Okay, firstly on to the past representative, what about the persons who business strictly online, for instance, freelance? So, as a person who can say, oh, that's not really a business, but you know, you have to like buy software programs, or you know, with AI, you know, so much the AI you do, you're limited with like the free version, now you want to invest in like, you know, and then yearly subscription. And so what about us who do business online?
That is one of the drawbacks given the technological age and the era that we're venturing into. Because as previously communicated, how the funds are distributed is in the form of a check. You know, it's government. We're not gonna do the wire transfer. So that's something that we're looking into, because we've had to tell persons that, you know, go back to the or find a different. Your supplier is an international one, and distribution of the funds would not facilitate that. So that we're looking into.
So as an entrepreneur, is it more on market demand or generating income from something that
All right, so we don't do the assessment like the blue team do, is that you come in and you provide the documentation. We do an interview and we submit a report. It's not necessary to say a good business idea or it's not. Once the documentation, the paperwork is valid, then we will submit on your behalf. Or if we have knowledge where we can extend to you and say, oh, this is what is happening. Have you thought about this? Then we write. Answer your question?
To add to what she have just said, based on how they support relevant small business, as a quote unquote small business, micro. Doesn't matter the size of your business, doesn't matter the vision that you have for your business. Remember, you have the vision, not anybody else. God give you that talent and that wisdom for a reason. So if you're now going to utilize that and monetize it, right? So with you having that vision now, that support financially, remember, you know, you have to sell us the idea of the vision that you have. Whatever it is that you're doing or wherever you are, whatever level you are at. So you might just in the thinking phase, it don't matter. Help you to propel it further, right? You just necessarily need to remember, do it. Am I that is the easiest thing I can do? Or like I said, I can generate an income from it. As the other part of the question you have asked, it both works hand in hand. You want to know that you need a niche market. I am sure that you're doing something different. You're doing something new. You also need to ensure that you understand that answers the question.
All right, so I brought about digitizing. At a general, digital banking is growing fast. How can we use online banking as POS or businesses? Want to get that one? Yeah.
Well, I'm sure one I look for your ATM programs is business online. So once you have access to your business online, you can use it to track your income as long as it's used properly, track your income and your expenses and net return determine profits. Right? So your business online as well can be used to pay like your suppliers. So you can use your wire transfers, your RTGS, and your internal transfer online. So whereas for consumer, what we do is limit consumers like online limit, but businesses don't give them limits. So that's major benefit of having a business online. You can use it for salary payments as well. You know that people don't take cash in hand anymore, right? Because they're not receiving the benefits from their employment that way. So what they do, you can use to transfer your salary. For POS, we have our EPOS, we have our MPOS, and we have our POS machine. POS is used with your phone, your EPOS is online, and your regular POS machine as well. So with your POS machine, you can use it to access loans, but after the first 6 months of having the POS machine, you're prepared and you can be pre-approved for a loan as well. So the POS machine actually makes it easier for you to track your transaction. Like it can actually set the machine. So that's your MPOS and your context.
It's tax that transmitting people, James Bank, small business owners always had an opportunity for online, right? So we encourage our micro entrepreneurs not to utilize every banking service that we provide. All right, so we'll have our JN Live for online banking. You can pay your utility bills through your online banking. You can pay your loans through our online banking platform. You made mention of point of sale machine. We also provide point of sale machines, and we have our other services by extension of JN Group that can give support to micro entrepreneurs. So we have our MC system assistance is set up for display for payment of the staff and other different apps and platforms. So we do give support digitally to our clients. We just need them to utilize the services available.
And just to add to that, I mean, if you're using these digital platforms as well, you are better able to review your finances, track where your money is going, you know, every couple of days you look what's going in, what's coming out. And it's also a way to even build your credit history and build your financial customer relationship with your bank. All right.
So we'd like, this was a very, very great. Time for question and answers. So we're going to be taking from the
So you just spoke about the digital space from cyberthreats. How does the young entrepreneur go about protecting his other?
Okay, so we try to educate our customers and clients that to pay attention to everything, the news, social media, whichever works for you. Make sure you're know and you are aware of what is happening, right? We encourage that you learn the basic things to do and what not to do when you're doing businesses online or doing any transactions online, right? So don't just randomly click on a link because somebody sends it to your phone or to your email, right? These are little things that you learn in IT, or if you don't even know about IT, you can just ask Google. ChatGPT can teach you all of these little things, these little tricks, right? And if you're not so feels that your cousins, they're young, their brain, this is their era, they know everything about technology, right? So they can also, it's important that you be in the know and you try to do your necessary research to add to the complement of knowledge. So don't just click on random stuff. Ensure that you set up the bank, make sure that they have a correct number for you on file. So any transaction made through any debit card or wire transfer, your alert also to your email. And if it's not you immediately call your bank and report it, right? And also be aware of the surroundings. Don't just go to any ATM machine. I always tell them, and I drill it to ATM machine, do it closest to that the card is being taken by the machine. You can report it and you can have it resolved. Windows, standalone ATM machine. Wait. There is nothing out there, nobody out there to assist you. There's more opportunity machines, but when you're doing business closest in an environment where you know you have some level of security and utilize that.
No, you can lock your card just by logging and you lock your card. Want to use your money. That's not
Sorry, I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that clearly.
She's asking you to repeat.
Oh, I was saying that some financial institutions you can just tap the screen to block and unlock your credit card or your debit cards. That's another layer of protection for you. Do you want to use that? For me, I keep it blocked. I want to use additionally a savings. I don't have a card attached to that. Like a general savings account. So I want transfer. So if you steal my card, I don't have much to get. Also, a gas card is a whole different card. There's every month I transfer a certain amount to that account and I use that account for gas money. So when I pop up at a gas station, I don't really worry. Yeah, the security staff.
Another question. It's a default requirement to do business plan when we're approaching financial institutions. How possible is it to actually determine your profit margin in market research? Is it something that is possible or it's not?
Okay, so remember, developing a business plan and the purpose of the business plan is creating, it's like a roadmap to us. Again, only you alone know the vision and the potential of the business idea, correct? So you're doing the necessary researches so that you can know the potential of what they could possibly earn. So you're basically giving a projection. It's not going to be exact because remember it's a startup, but you're giving based on other businesses that you have heard about. So the research will involve you doing your necessary background checks to other businesses that is similar to what you are doing and to kind of get an idea. What does that business earn? What are some of the services that they provide? What are some of the equipment that they utilize to make their business great? Marketing opportunities there to help to their business visible. All of these things that tell us that here's a potential that we're going to earn this. It's not exact, but it's a projection as to what the post achieve and what you know it can do. Because these are industries are similar to what you're doing. This is what they are making, and you can do that too, and it's no data.
And I just want to add that it boils down to having a good account. For a startup, when you sit in front of a business bank, your strength is going to be realistic cash flow projection. That's it. Red flags are right. Get yourself in line.
Yes, but you do have partnership with DBJ, right? And well, we're happy for that relationship because they help a lot of our microclients, and they don't just come for one loan, they're coming repeatedly for loans for other opportunities and other visions, and they're not as limited to just the business. Their personal dreams and goals too. So the DBJ provides that pushing to ensure that you meet the collateral requirement if you don't have the tangible items to that place.
You see why I smile when I say things that doesn't make bank. We are here to support and we're serious about the growth of the micro space and the growth of individuals who we do lend to. All we need is a rather, and we can start the conversation of what we can. Ladies and gentlemen, the CEF, the collateral support, is here. Call us. WhatsApp us 876-371-3836 371-3830.
Okay.
All right. So we are going to wrap up this segment of the presentation. I want to thank our panelists.
We're going to invite our team with some gifts for our lovely panelists. We're really very intimidated. You guys delivered and you're less scary. You're less scary. We really you'll hear from us and our patients. So I'm going to invite Dr. Chin and Nurse Greeley to give our panelists some a token of our appreciation. We don't know this is Alex.
The next few, maybe they're
Okay. Can we get a picture with everyone? And the spirits. Spirits. In picture space, I think she's working on the child. This spirit.
All right, thank you.
Richard, Mr. Crawford, and Mr. Wilson. Mr. Noel. Mr. Happy.
Alrighty. Again, we are now at our final session. Before we start, to invite everybody to stand and shake it off a little. Alright, we're sitting for a while now. And thank you all so engaged and staying. So, as you can see on our program, our final session is about literacy. Okay? Europe, mastering marketing and networking can truly elevate your business. And this session is all about empowering you to harness those skills. So we have our moderator and analyst here. I'll start off by introducing our moderator, who is Mr. Noel. Mr. Noel is an city warrior. He's a seasoned media consultant and photographer with over 10 years of experience capturing stunning and visual content. He's a content creator, speaker, sharing expertise and passion for media. Mr. Noel. Nicholas McDavid. He's a creative consultant, project manager, and event specialist. He's based in Jamaica. He focuses on civic engagement, community development, and social entrepreneurship, using creativity to drive positive impact. He's a justice of the peace and a community advocate. Thank you all. All right. So, beside Mr. Nobel, we have Mr. Tyler Wilson. He's the chairman, president, and CEO of Tyler Holdings, based in Kingston, Jamaica. He brings experience from various roles, including High Creative Institute, Key Media Interactive Group Limited. He holds a Bachelor of Science in Banking and Finance from the University of the West Indies. And he possesses a robust skill set in leadership, social media, video production, public speaking, and online marketing. And he will be sharing a brief presentation with us. And
We're going to have the leaders hold. I hope it's not going to look away to pull on the banners. No, okay. Be free to give them a number and they can call me. And I will call and ask about the participants.
Over 20 years experience. He holds a bachelor's in marketing. He has a certificate in project management and an MBA in business. He is the CEO of Simlar International, pursuing entrepreneurial dreams. He's welcome. And finally, we have our very own Mr. Tyrone Williams. So he's a skilled IT professional here at the Sickle unit. Woo! Dedicated to delivering innovative solutions. He was responsible for all of our IT needs today, ensuring the smooth process with our presentations. He's currently pursuing his master's degree, expanding his expertise and staying at the forefront of the ever-evolving technical landscape. Please welcome Tyra. Tyra Williams. Alright, so
Space for one.
that's not the Tyra. Alright. Alright, so I'm gonna actually hand over to Mr. Tyra Wilson, who has a presentation, and then hand over to Mr. Douglas, the moderator.
We have a presentation first day. Physical one. It's quite a pleasure here, place where I grew up. Sickle unit. Very familiar with this since the age of 4. And excited to speak with you today. Okay, guys, I'm sorry I'm not allowed to speak. I tried my best. It's quite a big, sickle cell warrior experience, family was about, entrepreneurship in the world. Students here, very young without gray and stuff. So I started my background in entrepreneurship. Very early I realized that I'm not going to be a stable, I'm not going to be around skill set, but I know that my answer was going to be whether in academia or entrepreneurship or something, where you can use your brain. Put a lot of work into it while attending university here at UWI. And while I was in my first year of study, I was doing really good. And I had all plans to do my master's and all that. And the first semester in my first year, it's my second year, I had a crisis. And I missed like 3 out of the 5 exams. I went to literally dropped myself. So I decided, let me go and pursue entrepreneurship. Maybe that is more flexible for me to go out to schedule exams and stress to up in that night studying and if you're at UWI school in the nights. So I used to live at home, so I got a chance to study in the winter. So I did practice a lot. So I decided to become an entrepreneur and I started very early here at UWI. When I'm in lecture rooms, I'm working. Instead of paying attention to classes, I missed an exam working on my business plan. Didn't realize the exam was that day. But when I started in 2008, Jamaica was in a, not just Jamaica, but the world was in a kind of paradigm shift. And we were heading more into a digital era. And even though 2008 was the very, very early stages, one trait of an entrepreneur is having a kind of foresight, vision and idea of the future, and putting in the work from now to invest in that future that you predict. So very early, I saw that okay, the world is moving to a digital age, and I said, I'm going to start my own company. And the name of the company was Easy Limited at the time. The idea around that is that we were producing magazines, but instead of printing with them in digital format, the pages would turn everything, but it would all be distributed through email. During this time, the iPhone was not around as yet, or at least not popular. In fact, it was the BlackBerry. And at the time, they couldn't even get the postpaid, they couldn't even get the BlackBerry service because they had to be on postpaid, not prepaid, unlike now, right? They couldn't open a magazine on the BlackBerry. But started 2008 and it took off. But the idea that fueled the trend that fueled that concept is that at the time Jamaica was 55% internet usage, and that is whether they access it at home, school, work. 55% of the population was accessing the internet in some way or another, right? So I invested in that future. And part of my presentation today is also speaking about networking and support. So what I'm doing is tying everything into one and so. Sorry, how much time do I have by the way? It's in 5. So I have to move faster, right? Yes, so started, got it funded by an investment bank at the time. Christopher was the CEO of Google. Networking, right? So Chris went to Jamaica College. I did too. And I mean, way older than I was, way more successful than I at the time. I was 21, 22, but I knew that, in order to start and run a successful company, having the right people on your team and having the right network, accelerate things for you as opposed to just going through the road slowly. So I got Chris on board, we invested, and I credit networking with the barriers that I kind of created early as an entrepreneur. Social media was not popular at the time. So like today we can add somebody on Instagram and message them on LinkedIn and get a meeting. Back then you have to go out and meet, right? None of the CEOs that were on social media at the time. None of the VPs, none of them. You have to go to a function, introduce yourself, request a meeting, call your office 100 times until you get that meeting. And that's what I did. And for my net, I was able to raise capital for my business. The cash is the only capital, but your network is way more valuable than the cash. I was able to have successful Jamaicans. When I say working in terms of board members, investors, mentors, customers, everything. And Chris Williams was one of the first, right? And eventually I got investment from Pan Caribbean, which is now Sickle investment. Richard Biles, who's the governor of Central Bank, was my chairman. I work with so many, and Michael Leaching today is one of my mentors, but all of this was through networking, right? Being bold and not for an answer. And that's what I did. And throughout those years, I've been able to raise over $6 million US capital, invest in those businesses, whether through equity or it takes a lot of work, and that is why a network is required, because the support system that you have behind it what will keep you going. And as you know, entrepreneurship is never like this. It's like, right? I learned that the hard way. And I learned that in the public space, because my company is now on the Jamaica Stock Exchange, and I've experienced my fair share of struggles. But when you're a publicly traded company, that is in the media every day. But to tie it back into the digital era, I think I have maybe two minutes or so remaining. As the future business leaders of Jamaica, we have to realize where we are today. Back in the 60s, when Jamaica got independence, land, manufacturing, agriculture, those were the things that fueled the economy. But now, we're in the digital era. The difference between the digital era and the 60s, 70s, 80s, and the 90s is that the change is very, very fast. So the technology changed AI as much as we're talking about it today. That has transformed how we do business, how we learn, how we do every single thing that we're doing today. We tap into it, right? So we're in an era now where things that we should be are the ones that the investors from the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s know nothing about it. Trust me. We are the ones who will understand it, and we are the ones that will be able to get the investment from them. They're looking to us to understand it and tap into that digital era. But the digital era is very complex. Unlike real estate, where buy land, build on it, sell the homes, the digital era is a myriad of opportunities. It's wide and it's complex, and it requires a certain level of understanding in order to tap into it. The differences today that I would leave you with, because I have less than a minute, is that let's not focus on Jamaica as your market. If your competitor is in China, right? Your competitor is in India, your competitor is somewhere else in the world, part of our service, and launch it out right here, and whatever we're doing locally, you're competing with us. So the example, Uber versus our right share. They're right here. Amazon. A lot of delivery companies are going to be facing a lot of challenges now because Amazon is right here. Right? So our competitors are closer than we think. And that's because of the digital era. So it requires a lot of understanding, learning, and that's why we started the iGrade Institute back in 2017, which will focus on short skills, short skills training, short courses, skills training in everything digital, in everything creative programs, because that's where the gap is. I know those things are available online and get that skill set and tap into global workplace. Upwork, people familiar with Upwork? Let me see the answer those are familiar with Upwork. Guys, we have to get on that. We are entrepreneurs in the digital space. That's a global marketplace for talent. Half of my workers for my company are from Philippines, Slovenia. My personal assistant lives in the Philippines. And during my time zone, she is up doing my work. My accountant, one of my accountants lives in India. Right? And my graphic designer lives in Slovenia. And they're very efficient and they're getting paid to me. And that's what I mean when I say you're going somewhere else in the world.
Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, please stay awake. Let us do our best to get as much information out of these men who
Please stay awake.
don't fall asleep on these guys. These guys are doing it well. And one thing about living with a chronic illness is sometimes we feel like we can't be like someone else who doesn't have a chronic illness. But childhood is one of those persons who would have defied odds. So as we go into this panel discussion, it's about a question based on what I'm going to ask, and you can actually follow the question after that. The time or some of us may have known it into first to Tyrone and then to the rest of the panels. How important was networking in building the business that you have today?
All right, so as mentioned in the presentation, I credit networking to my success, right? I grew up not too far from here, Kenya, Mapin. I remember my mama had me on her back going through Huey games when I visited here when I was sick several times. But then Kenya, I never really know nobody in the corporate world or whatever. So when I was starting, I don't know who to call, never have no reach home to nothing and everything I had to go up there. It's very important. And I even think like when I was at U, it's networking. Amazing, by the way. Like when we were at UA, like he's the person.
Greatest out of UA, by the way.
He had strong network, so he can attest it more. But I had to go there and I think that is what helped.
Dick?
Yeah, I am a service worker, right? For creative consultation and sorry, service provider, right? Which makes me a consultant and a project manager, as would have been mentioned before. How I earn a living by providing service, engaging people. Might be people like Tyrone who owns a business. Might be looks over here who has a MSME, or it might be an individual entrepreneur who has an idea, who is trying to do something, right? I get the majority of my business to networking and refer 90%. So most of the business that I generate and most of the work that comes in is through networking. It's a part of networking because like Keisha, when you say, yeah man, I know a guy, he's cool, he's creative, you can do your marketing plan. That's networking. So I would say, just to echo what Tyrone said, networking.
It's funny that we're all sitting here having this type of discussion. Because when we started a long time ago, I mean, mention is made at Igloo. So before the whole social space started, we used to do what we call peer-to-peer marketing. And played a big role in the growth of several of our brands. Because of his personality, he started way before the Twisted Spirits and all of that. So we had the runners and the chance to all and stuff like that that kept the bus going because there was no media, there was no nothing. So peer to peer.
It was a fun story.
Yeah, he was at the very first one.
It was a fun story. It was all networking. That's all it is. One day I decided that I wanted to go to the beach with my girlfriend at the time. And at the time, and hang out and play at Sugar Man's and I packed at Igloo. And then we had a great time. And then people would say, "Where are you doing this Sunday?" I said, "Yo, I packed it at the beach." And every Sunday, somebody else can idea, you know. Then they formalize it, put structure, branding, DJ, sound.
2009.
At first, people got in free, catch people.
So, so like everybody else on the planet, I am not an entrepreneur yet.
Speak up.
I need to speak.
Yes.
I'm not an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur. Yes. But that I am a resident advisor at the track at all. I am a track athlete. I am also the land admin for King. What that means is I have been a part of the sectors and the level of network that I've created so far is immaculate. Right? And I've always been told by artists that still young. I have a lot more way to go. As a resident advisor, I am responsible for about 800 students. And one of our main goals, even right now, is ensuring that we don't let them get lost. One of the main focus of that is we generated something called Network with the CEOs. Right, it's a little program we put together with meet and greet, carry resumes, everything, and you get to see the young men and women of the business. So I agree that networking itself is one of the most critical and most important factors as we move into the storage.
Very good. So just to continue the conversation, you gentlemen mentioned that networking for you back in the day, peer-to-peer. We're now in a digital age where some persons are a little bit shy to walk up to someone in a digital space. Tell us how we can use some of the digital platforms to now enhance our networking ability. And if there's any one platform that you see that's on the rise or that's working right now, that you could recommend to persons. I'm just throwing it out to the parties. Anyone wants to?
I'm a LinkedIn advocate, right? I'm a LinkedIn advocate. Anybody who is a working professional, especially if you have your own business, if you don't have a LinkedIn page, you need to rethink what you're doing. LinkedIn is the single most important social tool for professionals and people in business right now. There's nothing that has beaten it yet, and there's nothing that is even close.
What's that?
True.
When it's the LinkedIn, that's the link where you then click and then you get Instagram.
No, that's the link tree. That's the link tree.
Oh, LinkedIn is
For business.
But I echo that because that's where I'm strong, right? On LinkedIn. And I meet people from all over the world. I've got investment opportunities from LinkedIn. I've got customers, everything, right? That is like, I just take it. If you're not on LinkedIn, you have to reach.
Yeah, but they have to reach.
It's time I'm trying to get that piece.
Yeah, I completely agree. But there's also one important.
Guys, we're not listening on that word.
I believe that each person has a unique touch. So, for example, Kenta Holdings, LinkedIn would massively benefit you. But for somebody who, for example, is good at some form of tech service, I'm a creative person. I've already mentioned Upwork or Fiverr. Platforms like that too are catered to a more not just critical thinking about somebody spontaneous, somebody creative, somebody that can provide something new to the world. So there are multiple different platforms you can use, but find the one that caters to your company, the specific that helps you, that will help you to grow quicker. Because let's be honest, some persons can go on the internet and never get you.
Like that's true.
Yeah, what you're saying, there's a lot of truth in what you're saying, but it's not either or.
True.
It is a complement the LinkedIn. Because there are certain business basics that no matter what industry, no matter what career, what profession, there's certain fundamentals that you have to do. And one of those things right now, you have to have a LinkedIn.
It's like a public resume.
Exactly.
Like anybody reach out, you know, the first place I go, we can find out more about them. Like if somebody's seeking a job from our company, I go on LinkedIn.
Exactly.
Because I don't even ask them to send their resume, everything is there. Work experience, XYZ, but that's not to say that you shouldn't have the other platforms. But it's almost like a digital resume and network.
It's there. But there are many persons who struggle with digital literacy.
But I agree. Sign up.
But what advice and what methods would you mention to them that could help them with their digital literacy? Because we're talking about all of these platforms, they may not understand exactly how to work the platform. So how would you help them to get on it?
Well, we learned that very early at high grade. For granted, so much people don't know in terms of digital literacy, right? For me, the suggestion is that it's almost like reading at this point in time. Like, if you don't understand digital, it's going to be very difficult to compete in today's world. And it's like, we just bought this company, Visual Vibes, and we have a team member there. She's been with the company, we bought the company, she was with the company before. And she's, you know, like maybe 53, 52 and so forth. And we came in and I started giving her some tasks and everything. I put that on Google Drive, sent me a sheet to receive of his XYZ. And I realized she's struggling. But I was moving so fast here and everything. And I said, no, I'm supposed to be right there. And it's not being done. So I called her in the office and we had a talk and said, you don't know how to do it. And she said, no. I said, then they should tell me, right? And then I introduced her to some programs, some introductory programs and so forth.
Which will be some of those programs.
I mean, Google Drive, for example, Google Workspace, they call it now. Similar to Microsoft Office and all those things, but it's built for the clouds and have a lot of other productivity tools. They have CRM tools, like we use Monday.com, where like people know that the project management are sales, they manage all the tasks, the sales needs, everything. They didn't know those things because the owner of Visual Vibe before was Ali McNabb. A lot of people maybe used to play for Jamaica, but he was like 73, so he was CEO, you know. I mean, very good CEO, built a good business, but it does write down things when you come in and work and give it to somebody and then do it work. But no, we got it, we're digital first entrepreneurs and we look for granted just how much some of the team members didn't know. So basic literacy programs, you know, and tools like I would just recommend go on LinkedIn Learning and look, they have a other programs, go there and just start with some basic ones.
Yeah, then to have some small workshops that you can do to get some LinkedIn.
So that's how they are free too.
And I see a question.
It's more about communication, backing up what he said. It's important to gain some knowledge base. Do your research, get the requisite training so you can be up to date. Because what happens? We're in a digital world that is fast-paced and ever-changing. So keep up to date and be informed.
So Tyrone mentioned cloud-based technology, and we know we're digital era where there's no the pushing of AI. Now, I don't know if you use any form of AI structure in any of your business or day-to-day working. But for the persons here who they have a small business and they want to use AI to scale their business forward, is there any advice that you could give? And I really want to get it from a business perspective and an IT perspective.
All right, well, I mean, everyone said it earlier, right? AI is everywhere and it's everything, right? And it's one of the things that you have to get behind right now and tomorrow. Like right now. Everybody at some point, at some level, at some stage is using AI. So whether you are a doctor, medical professional, CEO, teacher, you have to be AI savvy. And there are a lot of free resources out there for you to learn the AI basics. Because the average person does not need to know advanced things about AI.
Yeah.
What we call generative AI, which is the simple things like ChatGPT and Google Gemini, those two things, which they have free versions, you pay for more advanced versions, but the free versions can get everybody in this room very far. And if you're having a challenge understanding how to use it, there are lots of little free courses, free classes, free videos that will explain it in a basic way so that you can get on your way. And then you can ask the AI to teach you. You can literally go into the AI and say, I like AI done. I don't know nothing. Fool. Tell me how to use it. So there's no excuse for anybody not to be using AI.
We have detailed project management plan for this.
That too.
Just before you go to the book, I'll add to like Bill Gates recently said that he thinks that AI is the most powerful technological introduction since the internet. That's what he said, right? Bill Gates. And I agree. I've never seen something so transformational since internet, right? But what I would like sometimes we have these sessions we don't leave with something tangible. Recommendation was that everybody just download ChatGPT and the code at minimum. Like we want to have that outcome. Start using today. Just basic things.
Or if you have Gmail, use Gemini.
Yeah, just don't
like right now.
Yeah,
I want to let you answer the question. That's all for me.
I don't really have much to say. That's where the usage of AI is exactly where we're going. Everything that we do, and it's helping us in a way where even exposed to it, we can't let every documentation has to be verified using another AI. So it's tricky, but at the same time, it is, I won't say it's easy to learn, but there, as my next said earlier, it helps you in whatever you ask the basic thing. If you take the time to learn it, it will teach you what you need to know. But at the same time, it's a learning process that you have to manage, because you don't want it to get to a point where everything runs the AI forward, right? If it's more to enhance your hands-on more than it's giving you what you want. If you get what I mean.
Ms. Grant?
Okay, it's not really a question, but recommendation for AI, and we say a little AI marketing queen, follow her, anything you want about AI, she's also, I don't know if you guys know Internet Income Jamaica, and it's like, she's amazing, follow her on YouTube, sometimes she has
Alice, a little.
yes, she's the AI marketing. And just to reactivate the whole ChatGPT on some videos, because I am like, so I think I'm obsessed now with it. So, and what I'm actually doing now is building like tools using AI now, which I want to monetize and trust me, it does give you benefits. So, please,
Are you dating ChatGPT right now? Because you say you're so into it.
No, it's already like morally abstract everything. I mean, they say that they do make some mistakes, they still want to check their information, but for the most part, and ask anything.
So I have 1 minute left. Thank quickly.
Yeah, just the one thing with AI, a lot of people are apprehensive about it, right? But I look at it as very simple. You're freeing up your mind to do more challenging things. There are some monotonous tasks, there are some things that you really don't need to waste your time sitting, trying to execute. Like right now, I need a marketing plan. I don't slow down type of I already know what I want. I show him what I'm already. They give me a refined marketing plan. I read it, I challenge it, I have a final answer. So my thing is that would not be apprehensive about it, right? Use it to free up some of the monotonous tasks that you would have and to do bigger, more productive things with your time.
Thanks. 30 seconds on the clock. It would be remiss of me not to talk about social media. In terms of branding, because I'm believing that some of the businesses here, they're fresh, or some of them their branding so that they can get their business out there. Those persons who would have built iCreate and you would have done some certification for social media also. In 30 seconds, let's give us some advice that we can use to work on our social media presence.
Well, what I mentioned earlier, I would say it's a diverse world. Every platform requires a different type of skill set, a different type of understanding on how to engage. Sometimes you see people go on LinkedIn doing things that they should actually be doing on Instagram, right? Like posting pictures of themselves. See that all the time. But that's not to say they're wrong, but there are other ways to utilize it, and that they might not get the best engagement that you need on LinkedIn if they post a photo. People are looking for information and personal connections there. So my advice real quick is to understand the strength of each social media tool.
And what you want to say?
What you want. That's basic.
Alright, so thank you.
Yeah, I was just going to add to reviews are important. Right? Your customer tells you what they want or what they need, and that's just all that helps you your property. So listen to your customers. Some of the times they are the same ones that try to give you ideas on how to build or how to upscale. That's my addition to it.
All right, gentlemen, thanks for having you. Guys, give up a tour of noise and thank you guys. Okay, all right, so I told I have 5 more minutes to ask, take questions from the audience.
Yes,
Could you stand and tell us your name?
yes, my name is Trevon. It's just a question from earlier conversation. How would you differentiate marketing and networking? Question for you, or how would you differentiate networking and marketing?
I mean, they go hand in hand.
Yes, that's why I asked, how would you differentiate it?
All right, so basically, if you think about marketing, right, on the business side, you're thinking about spending money to market. So you are better because you're spending to earn your profit. Networking now, sometimes it's just friendship, it's just good company, it's not necessarily financial, it's profit. So that's the only thing. But basically,
Is it like I say?
yeah.
I ain't going nice with that is that I think networking is capital and marketing is spending money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like what is asset, what is an expense. Yeah.
But networking is also marketing yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
And networking today is not just in person, it's social media networks, it's also online.
So I would guess that some of that the marketing aspect of it is putting the product out there, and your networking is a resource.
Yes.
Any other questions? Alright guys, thumbs up.
Just going to act at this stage, while Dr. Gabadon and Professor Aslani award our panelists to just that if it's open or for appreciation. Like once you visit, you have to, what's that? Once you come and stand here, you can be thinking of going on. It's Tyrone Wilson. It's Tyrone. Critics hoping that please go with it then. Please. I worked very hard. What is that, wine? Is it alcoholic? I don't recommend alcohol.
One for giving.
Just the island. I want to risk of time. They said yes. Yes, I could see it white way. Everybody's coming. Neither does Richard.
No, I don't drink wine. If it was Guinness, definitely.
I know.
Okay. But please, all men want it, it's the only on the other. It's good to get them out. Down the want to carry, where's the set the stage. Thank you. So we're now winding down.
I like to put Dr. Brooks on the spot, right? So I gave her an offer as a part of my community work at UW Water Campus that we can have another session where we can do ideas, talk about ideas and ideation,
You see,
and you can bounce.
Alright, so I love that rich guy, I love that. It's fun, but it's not about to ask for the funding for the government. I'm happy you are volunteering your time and we do it. Right, so we're going to have that Pitch Perfect is coming up and we're going to be reaching out to the very, Nicholas, Richard, Tyrone and Noel to help us to plan the next one. So I'm happy that you volunteered to pilot that one. Okay, so we're going to invite Professor Adnan for closing remarks and the presentation of our certificates. Dr. King and Miss Spears, I would like to assist them